Sam here, and a couple of big things happened in sports today. James Harden with 60 points, setting the Houston Rockets franchise record for points. Taking over Calvin Murphy's spot. They needed all of them to beat the Orlando Magic. But the big story in the NFL is Alex Smith going to the Washington Redskins, ending Kirk Cousins' tenure as the quarterback in Washington. This is why Washington is the doormat of the NFC East. Carson Wentz, Dak Prescott, and presumably Eli Manning, maybe a future quarterback in New York, whether it's Darnold, DeRozan, or maybe a free agent signing like Jimmy Garoppolo. This is why Washington is in last place every single year. Alex Smith is not an upgrade at quarterback. He doesn't throw downfield. He doesn't lead his team to big. He doesn't lead his team in big games. I mean, you saw against the Tennessee Titans, he was awful. There was. I mean, I don't care what you say about statistics. Good quarterbacks don't blow 20-point leads in their own building in the playoffs. And this was the first year he had 4,000 passing yards. This is the first, and he's in his ninth season in the NFL. So Kirk Cousins is going to be gone. He's going to be part of the. Denver's going to be after him. Jacksonville's going to be after him. Jacksonville going from Bortles to Cousins, it's just as bad. I mean, it's really, to me, this going from Kirk Cousins to Alex Smith, it's like going from a excuse me. It's like, I'm trying to find the best example. Oh, it's like going from a two-wheeler with training wheels to a complete tricycle. They're not very good quarterbacks. They're not elite quarterbacks. And in Washington, what are you doing? I mean, you need a franchise guy. And I understand that's hard to find. But really? Alex Smith, you can't find a better option than Jimmy Garoppolo's a free agent? Case Keenum's a free agent? I'm sorry, I think Case Keenum's a better quarterback than Alex Smith. I really believe that. To me, I just think at the end of the day, this is why Washington is in last place. And this is why I think the Kansas City Chiefs Kansas City's really the big winner in all this. They got to start Patrick Mahomes, who I think is an absolute stud. And now this officially puts Andy Reid on the hot seat. This is a kid that I think has superstar potential. And I think he's got Deshaun Watson impact type. I think he's got the same type of impact that Deshaun Watson had with the Texans. I think he's going to be that good. I think he's got a big arm. My question, he can play in the pocket. Footwork's a bit of an issue. So is his consistency with his accuracy. And what I'm concerned with Patrick Mahomes is, can he lead a team? So, but Alex Smith, I mean, Washington's just making bad decisions at the quarterback position. This is one of the most important positions in the sport, and Houston eventually stopped grasping at straws with backup quarterbacks like Osweiler, Hoyer, Mallett, Savage, Yates, Sweden. They went out and traded up and tried to get a quarterback, tried to get the franchise quarterback. And I think they have. I know 6 games is not a lot of games to say, well, Deshaun Watson's this, Deshaun Watson's that. Deshaun is the truth. It's too early. It's too early in his career, and I do agree with that. But at the end of the day, they took the chance to go out and get a quarterback. And this is why Washington is never going to get off the ground to be a good team. This is not a good move. I mean, it saves Kansas City $17 million in cap space, which is perfect for them. They can rebuild some of their defense. They can bolster the offensive line, and they can put some more talent around Mahomes and really make themselves even better and put themselves in better shape to contend the next season. But, I just think Washington, Washington might be a 7 or 8 win team, but he's not going to lead you to the Super Bowl. He's not a Pro Bowl quarterback. A Pro Bowl's a joke, okay? He's not an All-Pro. This is his first 4,000-yard passing season in a pass-happy league. Keep in mind that, okay? And his most glorious playoff win was against the Houston Texans, led by Brian Hoyer. Outside of that, they're one and done. At least that was what he was in Kansas City. So Captain Checkdown's going to Washington. That means Kirk Cousins is a free agent. He'll probably sign with either Denver or Jacksonville. Those two teams are teams that are primed to win now. They got defenses. I just think Kirk Cousins, again, he could have a Case Keenum-like year, or he might have a breakout season, but he's not going to lead you to the Super Bowl every year. Those two teams need quarterbacks. And again, a quarterback-desperate league, you need to take the chance of Kirk. So, but I think it's Denver or Jacksonville. I think those are the two teams that are going to be going after him. Denver is shopping around to keep Talib. Houston might be in the mix, but again, he's 33. He's still at the top of his game, but does Houston really? I mean, does Houston want to trade for a 30-year-old corner, or do they want to try and? I mean, what's Houston's plan? I mean, that's just, to me, the Texans. I don't think that's not really much of that's not upgrading their secondary. That's actually getting older and getting worse. So I don't think Houston will trade for Talib, but we'll see what happens. NFL offseason hasn't started yet. Obviously, this trade with Alex Smith, the details aren't fully shaped yet, and the deal can't be approved until March. So that's when free agency will begin. James Harden had 60 points tonight. Moving on to the NBA just real quickly. Harden had 60 points tonight. The Rockets beat the Orlando Magic without Chris Paul. They lost Eric Gordon to injury. They have no Trevor Ariza with injuries. They're getting injured. They're having some injury problems. And with the trade deadline so close, they need to find somebody to take on Ryan Anderson's contract. When I watch them play, it's like watching 5-on-4 when Anderson's on the court. He has no impact. He's not a consistent player. He rarely does anything more than shoot threes. He's really just a stand-up three-point shooter. But again, nobody's going to take on that monster contract. He's not a good defensive player. He's not much of a rebounder. And he's not much of a shot blocker. The Rockets' problem is they've got too many guys. When they're healthy, they're a very loaded team, and they're a handful to deal with. But this was the problem I saw last year, and not the injuries, but the Harden thing. Harden has been great the last 3 regular seasons, but in the playoffs is a different story. And as much as I don't want to rain on his parade, he's got to do this when the Rockets need him the most in a Game 6, Game 7 situation against San Antonio, Oklahoma City, and Golden State. Yes, I do think that the Rockets could take the Warriors to 6 or 7 games. He's got to do this when it counts in the postseason. So good for him. 60 points. They beat the Orlando Magic without Paul, Ariza, and Eric Gordon. With the trade deadline so close, everybody is making moves, or at least trying to make moves, and the Rockets really got to get out from underneath that contract. That's a really bad contract in Daryl Morey's GM resume, but they've tried to get out of it with the Carmelo deal. I see Houston needing another playmaker. They need another big. DeAndre Jordan could be on the market. So we'll see what happens at the trade deadline. But today the Rockets won 117-113 over the Orlando Magic. 60 points from Harden. Alex Smith traded to the Washington Redskins. Basically, the Washington Redskins essentially got the same type of player, a game-managing quarterback. And you can't win with that in the NFL. I'm sorry, you just can't. Look at the Texans. The Texans are the best example. For years, they waddled around with the quarterback position. They try to get game manager types. And Case Keenum, Nick Foles essentially game managed the game. Didn't turn the ball over, give their defenses a chance, give their teams a chance to win, and they got to the conference championship. And of course, Blake Bortles, same deal. But at the end of the day, there's a reason it's Brady versus Foles. Brady's a difference maker at the quarterback position. He can make the big play when it matters most. That's what these guys don't. That's what game managers lack. And Alex Smith just doesn't have the. To me, I just don't think he has. I think he's too scared to throw it deep. He has a solid enough arm. Maybe he doesn't have the arm strength. Now he's going to Washington. NFC East, I still think the Eagles are the favorite to win that division every year with the Cowboys. And the Giants are kind of waddling around with Eli Manning, and they need a franchise quarterback. But again, the deal can't be finalized until March, so you never know. It might get nixed. Something might happen. We'll see what happens. NBA trade deadline is February 8th. The Rockets won. James Harden had a monster game, but again, do it in the playoffs. This has been Sam Darley. Thank you for watching.